Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Hello, hello.
Happy Thursday.
Welcome to the podcast. Happy Thursday. You know what? For the last 2 weeks, I think I've been saying that I was going to have an alcoholic beverage,
Yeah.
and yet I brought water.
It's habit at this point.
It's just a habit. I need to drink more water anyway. So the fact that I am like choosing water is a good thing. It's
It
a
is
good
a
thing.
good thing. Well, I
But
am not.
okay,
I was
what are you drinking?
going to be because Paul and I were going to go work out. And then he's like, let's just go have a date night and we'll go work out tomorrow night. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So for Christmas, Logan and Mona got me some water for Crystal.
Oh, and they're so pretty. Oh
So
my
pretty.
gosh. Doesn't it
So I
just
have,
feel amazing
mhm.
to
And
drink out of like a vessel that's just so
well, and it
beautiful
comes
and
in this
feels great in your hands?
little box and it's got this thing.
Mm,
I've got to get something so I can put it on the glass. But I mean, look where it sleeps,
wow.
and it's all cozy in there. So I
Yeah,
can't get rid of the box. So even
exactly.
when I drink out of them, and really it's just they got me two, but I don't let
Yeah,
anyone else touch them.
right.
Paul has had a toast with me, but then they go back in the box and then
Yeah.
they go back in the cabinet because I would love to display them, but I don't want them out if, we do
Yeah,
have a
I
almost
agree.
4-year-old running around the house. He throws
Yeah.
shit.
Exactly. Well, this is the same as my Dom boxes.
Yes.
Keep them. I love the boxes. I love just like sometimes just opening it up and looking at the
Yeah.
empty bottle just cradled in there.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. Why would you not want them in the
Oh.
box? I
And
think.
I've still got our bottle in our Dom box in my
Hmm.
bar, just
Yeah,
as a memory. Like,
I know.
yeah,
It's so cool.
that was like 70 episodes ago, Sandra.
Wild, right? Like
Crazy.
holy.
Yeah,
Okay, so
crazy.
I want to talk about how I am not a big astrological person. Like
Mhm.
for years when I was younger, I would like get the paper and look up my horoscope. I'm a Libra, I would always look at it, and I was really into horoscopes. Like the week
Yeah,
ahead, what's my week
I
going to be
remember
like?
those days.
And so then I started working in a bar and the prison. And I really started to realize, oh, wait a minute, full moons or something else.
Yeah.
And I would start to go, fuck, is it a full moon? Yes, it would be, or a couple days before or a day after. And so I've started to kind of incorporate it in sometimes to some of the things that I run, like some of the courses that I run or the groups that I run, or if I do something. And I really, on the full moons, I really talk about like that day, like cleaning out all of the shit, like, because the full moons come to erupt like a volcano, like
Right.
clear out stuff, which is why people in a bar or prison or school, like the emotions are higher.
Oh, yeah.
It's just clearing out the stuff that's residual that's underneath. And so as I was going to go into this group and post in there when the full moon was and when the new moon was, I saw something called portal days. And I know portal days to be like, February 22nd, like 222, or, you
Okay.
know, August the 8th, or something like that's what I have known portal days to be. But as it turns out, that's just something someone must have made up. Because when I Googled astrological portal days, apparently we have numerous ones throughout the year, throughout each month. So the portal days in February are February 3rd to February 12th. And so when I was reading about portal days, it's like very powerful days but polarized. So like very amazing things can happen,
Mm-hmm.
and the opposite of amazing things can happen. Like shitty things happen. And so when I was reading about it, now keeping in mind, I don't really love the superstitious stuff. I don't really love like the fear-based anything.
Right.
Even in when I do feng shui, like I try to never say things like keep the toilet lid down or your money will go down the drain. Do I love that? Yes. But I choose to say, like, you keep the toilet lid down to imagine keeping money in,
Mm-hmm.
like the positive flip.
Right.
And so when I was reading this, it was like, oh, I don't want to be scared of portal days.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did say in this article to choose the gift from it. Like, so no matter what it is, even if it's like a bad thing that happens, or like, you know, an unwanted thing that happens, know and focus on, if something comes up to erupt, that it's going to bring a gift with it. It's going to bring something beautiful with it.
Yeah.
And so, wow. I first month ever, I was paying attention to these portal days, February 3rd to 12th. And while everything was seemed to be fairly calm for me, my goodness, the people around me were really I could see they were
Can see
really
it.
experiencing this like roller coaster of emotions and roller
Mm-hmm.
coasters of things that were happening. And I was the one that was kind of bringing forward the like, where's the gift in this
Yep.
sandpaper
Sandpaper gift.
sandpapered wrap dog shit? Like, where's the
Uh-huh.
gift in this?
For sure. Yeah. And I was asking Lily, like, is Mercury in retrograde?
Mhm.
Because things weren't working. There's just seemed to be miscommunication. Monday and Tuesday were amazing days. Firing on all cylinders, going through all my get to dos for the day, was super proud of like how much I was accomplishing and my energy, like,
Yeah.
and just feeling good and grateful. And, I turned 52 and
Welcome.
yes, I was chatting with my girlfriend over the weekend. We had a little wine tour thing we did on Saturday, and I was talking about planning out my days, and I said I want to plan out my year. Like on my birthday, I want to journal about what I'm going to create this year. I'm looking in my journals at what I want to create, and I'm focused on that. And then I go back and look at everything that I've stated in there for that day. I've done. And sometimes it's
Right.
just feelings. I want to feel
Yeah.
this way. I want to show up this way. I want to experience this. They all happen. And I said, I wonder what would happen if I did that for my year, for my 52nd year. Like, what do I
Mm.
really, 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 really want this year? And that was fun and eye opening. And it made me step back and look at how grateful I am for everything I have,
Mhm.
but then go, but what's next? What's the next thing? And
Yeah.
so that was fun. And Tuesday night ended like beautifully. And then Wednesday I woke up and I was fine. But when I was leaving the house to go to work, I was like, where are my journals? Because I always bring them to work, because if there's time or if I'm inspired, I want to have them there, because I don't want to write somewhere else and then have to put it in that. It's just too much.
Why do you have two journals? I'm interested. They're for two different reasons.
So one of them is just my daily journal that I write in, pretty
Yeah.
gratitude-y. The
Okay.
second one is the journal prompt journal.
Oh, yes. I forgot
Yep.
about that one.
Yep.
Okay.
So I can't find them. I'm looking in the kitchen. It's not on my nightstand. I'm just looking everywhere. And I'm going, maybe it's at work. And then I'm backtracking my steps. And I'm like, I remember walking in with them. And then I thought, well, maybe it was a different day. You cannot find something that you think is lost like relax. And
Mhm.
so I was super anxietied about it. Not
Mhm.
quite sure why. No one would, I mean, it would be a very boring thing for people to read. They might get through a page and then they would toss it. But I was just like angsty about it. Get to the office, I've got to be there at 7 for my first patient. And of course, I get there a few minutes early because, I want to go check and find my journal. He's waiting for me in the parking lot. So as soon as I get out of my car, he's like, okay, let's go. And I'm like, it's not even
Oh,
session time yet.
oh, geez.
Like, I walk in my office, no journals. My heart sinks. I don't have any time to like come home and check because my schedule is packed until I leave. And I don't know, I've left at probably 2. But all day it was playing in the background. Now,
Mhm.
was it the journal or was it this portal?
I
You know? And
Who
because when I
knows?
logically think about it, journals were safe. I knew that they weren't lost. I knew I couldn't see them because I felt like they were lost, that I would find them. So I kept visualizing, what's it going to feel like when you find the journal?
Mhm.
But it was still playing in the background. And in fact, when I got home, start looking around, find them. I had been to an ambassador meeting that morning and they'd given me 2 t-shirts. So I brought the t-shirts into the bathroom to put on the tub so I could put them in my closet and just left them there on top of my journals.
Oh.
But it was so interesting because when I picked them up, it wasn't like relief. It wasn't like, oh God, I feel so much better. It was, well, I knew they were safe, but I still had all the same feelings going through my body.
Wow.
And it was like, I ended up at 8 o'clock. I didn't eat dinner. I ended up washing my face and brushing my teeth, going, I'm just going to bed so that I can relax and I'll get up and tomorrow will be a better day. But I felt like absolute shit. And it was not, it was just emotional. It was, my skin felt weird. It was the weirdest thing. And I thought, well, maybe you're remembering another time you lost something
Yeah.
and you're having that same emotion because that wasn't the end of the world, even if it had been really lost.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or like violation of some type.
yeah. But it wasn't, but it
Yeah.
felt like it, and my body
Yes.
responded just like
Mhm.
it was.
That I won't go into details, but that happened to me before where I experienced a situation when I was in university that scared the hell out of me
Mhm,
or on the university campgrounds. And so I experienced this massive fear, and I was safe, but there was moments where I was not.
right.
And then 30 years later, I experienced a similar situation where I felt the same. It was slightly different, but I felt the same feelings.
Mhm,
And man, until I connected those two, I could not get that fear out of, and I couldn't think, why am I focusing on something that happened 30 years ago? Why do I have this feeling? What is
right.
happening right now? We attach the feelings, we connect those feelings, or like even sense and things like that,
Uh-huh,
right? Like,
yep,
but we start to feel that same terror
yeah,
or whatever feeling it is, even though the situations are kind of different, but it
mhm,
trips the emotional response to something that happened before. And it's like we
yeah,
can't let it go.
yeah, yeah. Because I could not. Listening to Abraham, did some meditation. Like, this morning when I was listening to Abraham, I started laughing at myself because what I was trying to do was fix it.
Mm.
I was
Mhm.
trying to, you don't need to feel this way. There is
Mhm.
absolutely no reason for you to feel this way. So think about this and do
Yeah.
this. And I was forcing it instead of just allowing it. Instead of
Right.
going, wow, you feel like shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sit in it if you want. Go lay down. but I could not shake it. But this morning, it was almost comical because it was like, wow.
Mhm. Yeah, where the fuck did Leigh go there?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because you are the girl that's like, if I feel like shit, you're going, but what do you want?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
But what do
yeah.
you want? But it's funny, right? Because sometimes that will work. Sometimes that will work to say to yourself, you can't find something that's lost.
Mhm.
Or why are you focusing on what you don't want? What do you want? Like, or
Yeah.
what do you want? Sometimes that'll work. And sometimes it's like your inner being says, fuck that shit. Like,
Well,
I
and
am
see,
not going there. I need to feel it.
yeah, and the reason that I felt like so shitty was because I was separated from my inner being, because my inner being is not gonna come with me in the shit
Right.
pile.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a moment, an interesting moment, and I wouldn't wanna be stuck there for a whole day
No.
again, but I'm certainly grateful that I got to leave it in yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't bring it into how
Yeah,
many people do that, right?
yeah,
How many people do that from day to day to day?
and then it becomes a habit,
And it becomes this like,
your
yeah,
personality, yeah.
absolutely. But maybe it was just the portal, the magic of the portal. I don't know.
But I love the idea of the portal, because since it's happening, if it can bring great things, what if we
Right.
look for the great things it's bringing?
Well, and I really believe this. Like now, every single time something bad happens, negative, unwanted,
Yeah,
whatever, like I unwanted, I really have been leaning into, ooh, this smells like shit. However, what beautiful gift is around the corner, or
yeah,
what beautiful thing is coming for me, like, and I start to kind of embrace the grossness, like, and that doesn't mean rubbing my face in the dog shit, but it
mm-mm,
just means like, oh, wait a minute, here's something that feels kind of icky. What's on the other side of
yeah,
this? And I started seeing everything as a gift just wrapped in satin paper.
mhm.
And I
Well,
think
it is,
it is.
if we let it be.
It is,
Mhm,
but without hyper focusing on how terrible it is and how much a victim we are and how this fucking sucks. And like, if we can step back, I think, did I send you the right Abraham
I
video?
don't
I'm not,
think so. The zoom in and zoom out, that wasn't the one.
oh, those are my words. I can't remember what Abraham said, but it's probably not. If it didn't seem right, it wasn't.
Okay, it was
Anyway, it was
good.
like, it was this concept of like, if you are feeling an unwanted feeling, or if you're in a situation that you do not like, you like zoom out, zoom in is my words, but like you zoom out from it, like you move away so much so that it's almost like it becomes neutral to you.
Yep,
And when you have something that you're focused on that feels good to you zoom in. That's when you zoom in.
mhm.
And you know what? I have fucked that up my entire life.
Oh, I've had it backwards too,
52 years I've had it backwards. For
because
52 years, I have hyper focused on my problems, hyper focused on what felt bad. And I've talked it through and I thought it through and I've spoken about it and I've journaled about it and I've done everything like, how can I fix this? How can
zoom
I fix
out.
how can I fix, right? Just like stop fucking touching it. Like,
Yeah,
if I had a big, huge wound and it hurt, or a bruise, like poking at it isn't going to
yeah,
make it
yeah,
better. Stop touching it. But instead, I was like, this isn't fair. What can I do? How can I fix this? I want this feeling to go away. This sucks. And I should have just zoomed out and went, one of my favorite quotes is, if it won't matter in 5 years, don't think more than 5 minutes about it.
mhm.
Like, that's the easiest way to zoom out.
Yeah.
And then every
But
time
I
I
think
feel
a more
something,
important question is it going to matter in a week or a month?
oh, it might not even matter in like 5 hours, right?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't need to
And
be 5 years to only give it
no,
5 minutes.
but also when we spend more than 5 minutes on something, sometimes we can turn something that is not going to matter in 5 years to matter so much.
Yeah.
It'll ruin
Oh, yeah.
our
Our day,
month,
our week, our month.
year,
Yeah.
week,
Mhm.
whatever, you know?
Relationships. Yeah.
But like, I also, when I felt really, really good about something, I would think in my mind, "Ooh, this feels so good. This is great. Okay, next." I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
I just like turn my head and off we go. Turn
Yeah.
the page. Now let's
Check.
see.
Done. What's
Like,
next?
heck, Mark, I'm done. That's off the to-do list.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And never really holding that vibration for as long as I could have.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if I had, what else would have come into my world? What else could I have attracted in if I just focused on the positive things
Well,
that were
you
happening
you can't
prior?
do you can't do anything about that now. But what you
No.
can do is start doing that consistently
Yeah.
now
Yes.
and model it for your kids
Right.
so that they don't have to wait until they're 52 to hear that message.
Man, I tell you. But I wish I could find that video, but I cannot. I'm not meant to find it again. It's meant to be in my own words, but
Yeah, and
it
it'll
was
pop up on my playlist, I'm sure,
pivotal.
especially
It,
since we're talking about it.
yeah,
Abraham, if you can hear me, can you send it, please?
yeah, that would be great.
Because we do kind of get some of the same ones from time to
We
time.
do.
Yeah.
We do. And I have so many of them that are in, I mean, I'm surprised my phone even answers or like texts come through because I have so many tabs open with all of these different Abraham YouTube videos that I really, really like or that I want to
Uh-huh.
go back to. I usually don't go back to them, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I send them to you, or sometimes it's something that I just think, oh my gosh, this is so freaking good.
Right.
But no, can't find that one. So I don't know.
It's hiding.
Anyways, now zoom in.
Zoom in.
It's a game changer.
Now, I mean, aren't you glad we know? And it's interesting because when you were telling me about that, I was learning about something similar in my NLP class this week. And
Mhm.
and so that's one of the exercises that they want us practicing.
When you do the timeline.
No, just when we're
Oh,
looking at a situation,
mhm.
we zoom in and focus on it
Yeah.
and notice every single detail, and then
Mhm.
zoom out and look at it from the big picture, and then
Mhm.
practice it with different scenarios. This is really,
Yeah.
really so that we can then teach clients as a mechanism for coping with things or seeing more of the beauty.
Yeah.
Because when you've got someone that sees the negative in everything and everything is
Mhm.
wrong and everything is bad, and you're trying to show them different ways to look at it, because those are just habits of thought, just like seeing the positive in everything, just a habit of thought.
Yeah.
But we can shape our experience by the way we interpret what we're seeing. And
Absolutely.
when we see something that we don't really love and we can zoom out and go, okay, what's the big picture here?
Mhm.
It takes that angst away. And
Yeah.
there's not all the emotional charge behind it.
Mhm.
But when we're having a beautiful moment, to zoom in and be all there and experience all of it and feel it, well,
Mhm.
then that just opens us up for more things like that, because that's what we're looking for. And so it kind of gets our brain looking in the direction of the things that we want more of. When we hyper focus on the bad stuff, ooh, you
Yeah.
see it everywhere. It's like
Right.
trauma after trauma after trauma.
Yeah. There is a quote that I love that just gets me into the brings me into the now.
Mm-hmm.
And the quote is, it seems odd, but the quote is, walk as though the ground beneath you is glowing.
Mm.
And it doesn't seem like it's nothing specific, but I just every time I think of that, I just think, oh,
Mm.
like even I could just get chills just taking a deep breath and thinking about it. And
Yeah.
it's just like being so super present in the moment. Like that's how it just feels, like shoulders back,
Mm-hmm.
like everything is a fucking miracle.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it is.
Experience it all.
Yeah.
See everything in the most beautiful way and experience all of, like, like shit, we can experience the feel of the raindrops on our skin, or
Mm-hmm.
we can whine about the fact that we forgot our fucking umbrella.
Right.
Like, but if you can experience it in this way of like just being so super present in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
everything is magical and it becomes like this beautiful journey.
Mm-hmm. And the rain is a great example because you
Mhm.
have people that the rain comes and they just want to go outside and taste it.
Yeah.
And then other people that are yelling and complaining
Yeah.
and, oh, this is going to ruin my day.
Yeah.
And both of their feelings are valid,
Mhm.
but it's their perspective that can be shifted. I mean, if you want to feel that way, I guess, but wouldn't it be
Yeah.
better to just like let the rain kiss your face a little bit and,
Yeah.
you know, enjoy the grass and the flowers and the trees being watered for free?
Mhm. For free. Yeah. I know.
Don't have to
It's
run up the water bill.
right. So true. But sometimes, it's difficult when we get in that, when we have an emotional response, like potentially losing your journals or misplacing them.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes we get that emotional response. And I feel as though if you could have probably just stayed at home and not gone to work, looked for your journals and found them. Even if you were able to be at home looking for your journals the whole day. I mean, I can't imagine anything worse than looking for something for 8 hours. I'd lose it probably too. But I feel like, sometimes we kind of get ourselves wound up because we can't. Like I'm looking for something. And then if I have to
Mm.
leave, panic sets in. But if I can just stay calm and look for it,
Yeah.
I don't like it's like doesn't build momentum of
Maybe.
an unwanted feeling.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe, I mean, maybe it was triggered something else too. Who knows,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I won't ever know. Maybe. I don't know.
And yeah.
But, and had I
But
not
like
had
you
to fit,
said,
hmm,
it didn't happen. Now you're not in it. So thankfully, right? It's just gone.
yeah.
You didn't carry it into the next day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if it happened again, I wouldn't want to let it get as far as it got.
Mhm.
You know, I would
Yeah.
have wanted to kind of cut it off
Yeah.
earlier. Like maybe
Well,
walked into the bathroom and found them before I left for the office.
yeah. Do you remember? I'm sure I told the story at least once or twice because it's one of the things that I I swear is pivotal for me. And it was when I was going to have my son, my firstborn, and I knew that I wasn't going to have an epidural. I don't like needles. So the nurse had asked me how I was feeling because I was going to deliver in a couple of weeks. And I said, I'm a little nervous because I'm going to choose no epidural, but I think I'll be okay. And she said, the best advice that she has is to not lose it. Because once you lose it, once you go over that tipping part, once you lose it, you have one hell of a time getting it back.
Hmm.
So if you can always sort of like you'll feel the fear or the emotion or the pain or whatever, you can feel it, but if you don't allow it to get uncontrolled, like if you can just feel it and go, okay, and talk yourself through it while it's building, you'll kind of cap it. and then you'll always have control over it. But if you allow it to take over, you're screwed. You will never get it back. You will deliver in a panic.
Yeah.
And that has been so profoundly true for me in so
life.
many situations of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. She thought she was just giving me some tips about delivery, but nope.
Life lesson right there.
Life lesson.
Well, I would say I lost it yesterday, but I went to sleep and I woke up and I was fine.
Yeah. Yay. Thank goodness. Right.
And I have a story out of it.
All right. A good podcast. Oh, gosh, you know what? We're out of time.
Yep.
Okay. That went fast.
Yes. Well, thank you, Sandra. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.